Hi everyone, Stacy here from Dies to Die For. Tonight I'm going to show you our new wreath maker set that I did not show you on Tuesday. This is one of our brand new dies. Sorry, I got a piece stuck in here. Let me get that out real quick. Okay. The purpose of this die is to have a base to either build wreaths or swags. I like to make wreaths, but I have a really hard time getting them round. So I thought we should do a die that could serve as a base piece so you can make a nice round wreath. And then this centerpiece is so you can, let me take our pine branches, so you could add pieces and make a swag. Now, this centerpiece is meant to come out of here, but if you do not take it out of there, then you actually get a bonus. You could make a smaller size wreath right there. So if you left it all together, you would get two sizes of the wreath and then the swag in the center. That was a little bonus I just figured out when we got the die in. Okay, tonight, oh, and you also have all these extra, this is a bow, these are little ribbon pieces to go around your wreath, and a little banner. Tonight we're gonna use this and our brand new pine branches. These are our pine branches, and make a quick card. Oh, and we're going to use our new ice skates too. Okay, let me show you the pine branches first, because I built all of my pine branches first. They do take a little bit. I cut them out in two colors, then I just snip the pine needle part off. You could also use this on something later on if you wanted to. Then when I first did it, I was putting them on there and trying to line up every single one of those little needles so you didn't see the brown behind it. I figured out that was way too hard to do. So what I did for most of the branches I did over there was just cut those needles off. If you just cut them off, then you put your adhesive on there, it's much easier to line those big pieces up. Just like that. Okay, I've already done all of my pine needles, or pine branches that I want. There's also a small pine branch, but I'm not using that on this wreath. I'm only using the bigger one with the long cone. And I cut my wreath out in green to match these. This is going to be my top layer of pine needles. So I'm going to do the light green in the back. And you cut this wreath out in a color that's going to match what you're doing. So if you do have a little piece that shows through, it looks like it's just part of the pine needles. I'm going to put this right in the center. Then I'm going to take, I did two different color pine needles and two different color branches. I'm going to take my darker green color, take 4 of those, and just put a little adhesive on the back of them. Now you can put as many pine needles as you want on here. I'm gonna go with 8 tonight. And then with this wreath, you could also make it a little larger, a little smaller, just based on where you put your pine needles. Like if you put your pine needles more towards the top, you're gonna get a bigger wreath. If you put them in the center or towards the bottom, you're gonna get a smaller wreath. I'm gonna try to keep mine a little bit more towards the top. And I'm trying to put one top, bottom, side, and side. We'll see how well that works out for me. Kind of like that. And the nice thing about this wreath maker is you could build your wreath before you glue it down. That way when everything's done, you could get it centered. I know sometimes I get done and I think, oh, why didn't I move that to the right or left? With this wreath maker, you have the option of not gluing it down yet and moving it around. Okay, then I'm going to take my lighter color pine needles and put them kind of in the center of what I had just done, of the needles I just did. And this little, I like to find a spot to tuck my little branches, the end of my little branches. So I'm going to tuck that one right in there. And then see if you use the same background color, it kind of blends in. Okay, get this one right. I want it over a little more. No, that's layered too much. Let's keep going. Maybe try to tuck it right there. That's a little better. Just like that. And if you notice, I'm not gluing, I'm not covering it heavy in glue. I'm just putting enough on to hold it down. That way you still do have the spots. You can tuck things in. You could add more branches, more pine cones, whatever you want, but you have the ability to tuck things in if you don't completely glue it down. Plus, as we've discussed before, I kind of like my pine needles to pop. I like dimension. Okay, one more. That one kind of right there. Hold those down for a minute, and there you go. There you have a wreath. Then I took our new ice skates and I cut them out in silver. Then I cut them out in a light blue and then a teal color. For the silver, I left it the whole silver piece because that's going to serve as your base to glue everything else on. Then for the boot part, I just cut right here and I was left with this boot. And then for the little heel part, I cut this little sliver off and layered that on there. Then I cut my strings. This is a string to hang it, to make it look like it's hanging. Here. And then these are the little bows. You can either put the bows at the top of the string if you're making it look like it's hanging, or if you want them not hanging, you can put the bows right on them. These skates I only did in 2 colors. I did the light blue, and then, well, there's 3 with the bow, but the light blue, and then I left the heel the same color as the skate. Those are for a different project, but okay. I've already got those, and I inked all of this. I pre-inked all of this because I have another card I want to try to show you tonight if we can get through this one. And I took our little, how do I want that? Our little ribbon piece, and I just cut out the burr word from our winter set. I could have done anything. I could have cut out our winter wishes words or our, I don't know. There's all kinds of words in that winter set you could have cut out and put on there. I just chose to go with the burr. You could leave the words off and just put a bow up there. And let me show you these little ribbon pieces. These little ribbon pieces are meant to make it look like they're wrapping around your wreath. So you would cut several of them out and just wrap them around the whole thing. And it comes with 2 different sizes. So if you don't want yours as long as I made mine, you can use a smaller size. And then these, you just tuck them in. I'm not using those tonight though. I just wanted to show you that. I am gonna use My ice skates, I'm thinking I'm gonna put those somewhere right there. Maybe put that on an angle. And then I did cut out a hat from our winter hat scarf and glove set because I wasn't sure if I wanted to use that. I thought it might need a little something else, and I think it's gonna be that hat. Okay, let's put these up a little, move this up a little more. Actually, I think I want these more inside of the wreath. Make it look like they're coming out of that banner. Like that. Okay, let's get them glued down. Oh, I better put some glue on that ribbon string too. Those right there. If I wasn't putting that banner over the top of these, I would tuck that up underneath or make it look like they were going around the wreath by putting one side of the string on the front and one in the back. Okay. I do think I want that little hat on there. So I'm gonna glue that hat on there. I just love this. I love the whole hat, gloves, and scarf, that whole winter set. It's a lot of fun. That is a set from last year. That is not one of our new sets. If I would have grabbed my pop dots from home, I could have popped this ribbon up. Hold this down for a minute. I'm gonna take a little bit of our glitter snow. Not gonna spend too much time on this because, like I said, I have a slimline card I also wanted to show you tonight to show you the swag part of this set. But if any of you remember the glitter snow that I used a lot on the 25 Dies of Christmas videos, this is it again. And you just kind of tip all of the spots that you want it. I'm not going to go overboard on this card like I tend to do. Maybe I won't. Maybe we'll never get to the other card. This glitter snow is kind of fun and therapeutic. And we do have this in stock now. For those of you wondering, I know it was out of stock. We kept selling out of it at Christmas time. Which reminds me, I have our new dies ready to go out to our design team, but I need to send a few people I promised glitter snow. I need to send some to them. Put a little on these ice skates. Put a little. See, I always think I'm going to go easy on it, then I find more stuff to do. I think it's the little touches like this that make your card, though. Put some down here. Okay, what do we think? Enough? Are we going with the more is less is more tonight? Okay, we're gonna call that one. No, we're not. Sorry, I lied. I actually want some up here on the corners. Maybe. This is shimmery paper behind this, and this glitter snow doesn't seem to want to really stick all that well to it. Just going to accent the corners a little bit. Maybe. if we can get it to stick. My corners down there looked kind of plain and lonely. Okay, now we're gonna call it done. I am not gonna overdo it tonight. I am not gonna overdo it. I am not gonna overdo it. And now I definitely can't do anything because I just threw my pick tool across the room. Okay, there's that card with the wreath builder. Now, we are going to use our butterfly set, our survivor butterfly, our new lilies, the I'm here for you word, and our Tauran rectangle. I think that's all besides the wreath builder that I used on the next set. For this card, I inked my card base, and I'm using a 4-inch card base tonight. I inked my card base to make it kind of look like clouds. Then I cut our largest size of our slimline torn edge rectangle out, and I inked them with teal and purple, and I inked around this with purple too. And then I'm going to take the centerpiece, the swag builder, if I can find where I put it, right there. And I took our lilies, and I cut them out, and then I inked around them in half of them in purple, and then half of them in teal, kind of like that. And then I inked the centerpiece as yellow and attached them, and I ink blended the stems green. Just so you know what I did on those. And then when you're doing this lily, don't forget to put a little bit of the colored ink that you're using in the center to make it pop, if you want to. Okay, what we are doing now, for any of you who follow me on Facebook or any of the other social media, you know that yesterday was the 12-year anniversary of my husband's death, my first husband's death. I am remarried now, just to clarify that. But so tonight we are going to dedicate this card to him and any other suicide survivor who might need this tonight. So we are going to first build a swag using our lilies. And these are actually Easter lilies, and I didn't think of it until I was making the card, but Easter lilies were one of my first husband's favorites. So it's kind of fitting that I'm using them on this card. I'm gonna take two. Where's my other purple? Okay. I'm going to take one teal and one purple and put them on each side of the longer teal and purple. And for those of you who don't know, teal and purple is the suicide awareness and survivor ribbon color. That's why I always use teal and purple when I'm doing cards like this. Now these lilies I'm just gonna attach right onto this little swag builder piece. And again, like the wreath, this piece is nice because then you can move it around. If you get done and you don't like the exact placement, you can move your stuff around side to side, top to bottom. I've been playing with this little swag builder piece with the pine needles too. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Now I'm gonna put our survivor butterfly right in the center, so I'm gonna keep picking this up and putting it there so I can see where I need to place my other lilies. Now I put a teal on this side, so I'm gonna put a small purple here. And now that I have my base flowers down, I just put a little glue on it to glue this flower to my base flower. It's probably a little too much, but okay, then we're gonna put this one up here. Now do the same on this side, vary the purple and the teal. So this purple one is gonna go on top of the teal one, and then the teal on top of the purple. I want this purple to show through a little more, so I'm gonna tuck that bud behind it. Oops. Okay, let's see how we're doing so far. Now, a normal person would probably leave it like that and say, okay, that's good. Not me. That's not what we're gonna do. I want probably a teal flower over here. Maybe a purple one kind of right there. Raise it up a little bit. And let's do the same on the top. Let's put this one more a little in the center. Get our purple one over here. Am I talking loud enough for you guys tonight? Okay, and the reason I inked these and didn't cut them out of solid paper is because I wanted the survivor butterfly to be the main focus to really pop, and the rest of the pieces just to add a little color to the card. Then I cut out the "I'm here for you" words. And again, staying with the purple and the teal theme. Putting one on one side, but I think I'm gonna raise one up a little and lower one. Just because I like the look that gives. Okay. Oh boy, hard decision. Do I use more flour? No. Let's call this one good too. I don't think it needs any more, do you? I think if we add more, it's just gonna overwhelm. Yeah, okay, we're calling it good. So now I'm gonna glue my butterfly on. And the butterfly is gonna go right on that, get glued right onto that little swag piece. Now, here is where if, like, I built it and noticed it was over to this side, this is where the swag piece comes in handy, because you can just move it over. When you think you know where you want it, turn it over and glue it. You don't have to glue all the pieces that are glued to it down, but I'm going to. With just a little bit of glue. Okay. I think that's about where I want it. Don't you just love these lilies? I love the detail in them. Okay, now Next question is, do I put the words on an angle or do I put them straight? We've already discussed how hard it is for me to get words straight. Maybe like that. Yep, I like that. Okay. Just gonna put some glue on it. I did not grab my piece of paper to put the glue on the paper and drag my word through. So I'm gonna put this up above my torn rectangle just a hair. I kind of like it. And put this down below the torn rectangle just a hair too. Then I cut these out in the teal and the purple, and I just, because the teal's on this side of the butterfly, I put the purple over here and vice versa. Kind of like the pattern. Okay. There we are. I'm here for you card with our new lilies. And hopefully you have a few ideas now how to use our wreath builder set. Next week, I think I'm going to use this and work on a few Easter cards. Thank you for watching us tonight. We will see you again next week on our Tuesday night video. Have a great